scored in each of his last 3 visits here. Morgan Knowles is one of the 4 interchanges that's available. Scottish international Luke Douglas is left out. Ben Barber's the star attraction. Logan Tompkins will operate at hooker, top tackler. 49 in 76 minutes he played at Wakefield last week. It's going to be Danny Richardson, though, of St Helens in their changed jerseys tonight, who gets this game underway. And Chris Wellen will try and run the ball back from the kick-off, but it was a great chase once again by Mark Percival, restored to the side after missing his first game of the season just last week. Salford in possession with Lee Mossop. He plays the ball to Tompkins. St Helens doing well in defence. Interesting to see how that young man goes. Jake Shorrocks, runs loan from Wigan. Tompkins again, goes wide to Flanagan. Flanagan gets wide to Eccles. Wellen is tackled again by Percival. And in the end, the kick from Littlejohn goes high, and underneath it, Ben Barber, safe.
He's safe as houses, isn't he, Ben Barber at the back there? Returns the ball, and the back 3 for St Helens, always productive. Makinson and Regan Grayson at dummy half. Look like Salford are prepared to pass this ball, and you're right to mention Jake Shorrocks. What Danny Richardson and Johnny Lomax have got is they've got pace, they've got speed of action, speed of thought. And Shorrocks, along with Littlejohn, have to try and match those half-backs for Saints.
Well, Amor driving the ball forward for St Helens. Here now is Zeb Taylor for them. Justin Holbrook, the Saints coach, wanting a quick start from his players here tonight. Richardson with the kick away. Johnson is waiting for it as it bobbles and bounces all over the field. We'll pick it up now for Salford. Makes just a little progress. Good chasing forward by Ryan Morgan and co. There's Ian Watson in charge for the 90th time last week against Wakefield, and he's won for the 46th time, so it's a 51% winning ratio for him. Second in Super League at one stage last year. Knock on by Logan Tompkins. That's not in the script.
Stuart, can you just explain, how is this a knock-on?
Well, the referee's obviously presumed, but it's not a knock-on, it's because the ball's being played forward accidentally. That's the reason.
Make sure we're not blocking players into.
And that's deemed a knock-on then?
That's deemed an infringement, which is scrum is resulting. It's not actually a knock-on, it's because the ball hasn't been brought back into play correctly.
And for Salford to win this game, they've got to make sure that in those areas around the ruck, when there's no real interference, they've got to make sure that they end the sets well and don't make mistakes like that.
No, exactly, and I bet they will try and slow St Helens down around the play the ball, and we might see plenty of penalties in the match that go against them. I know there was a great debate in the Golden Point before the match here about the flow of penalties during the course of the games so far this season. It's the lesser lights who try and stop the better teams, like Salford taking on St Helens tonight. With all due respect to them, they will try and slow the ball down.
Well, Saints are the second most disciplined side in the competition behind Cass, so you're right, Eddie.
Richardson gets the ball away. Ball is out wide to Makinson. First try on the board. The mistake at the play the ball is punished as Chris Kendall, tonight's match referee, points at the spot. And Tommy Makinson, well, he gets his 5th try of the season. This is his 180th appearance for the Saints. He made his debut against Salford at the Willows in 2011 in a 56-22 victory, and he has got Helens up and running already.
Well, say, Eddie, you've got to make sure that you turn the ball over on your terms. Salford didn't do that, just 40 metres from the line. And like you said, he made his debut back in 2011, and what a player he has turned out to be, Tommy Makinson. Fabulous player, whether it's in simple yardage plays or these sorts of efforts, and we've seen him, Super Makinson, over the last few years. He's quality.
To the face of the wind, and that's why it's gone in front of the posts. It was a difficult kick anyway, but St Helens ahead 4-0, 4.5 minutes gone.
An excellent demonstration of the class that St Helens have here. Look at the pass there from Barber. He saw the space. I mean, if you think he's got a fraction of a second there to read where the opposition defender is with the red shirt, which of his teammates has the opportunity and deliver the pass. He did it excellently.
Go third.
Good drive forward by Luke Thompson. Looks like the neck is A-OK for him.
Go for.
And Lomax gets it away to Barber.
That's brilliant, Eddie. They do that better than any team in Super League world. John Wilkin runs straight towards the goalpost and then turns his body and passes. It helps to create the space for Barber. Now high kick on the next play.
From Richardson, this holds in the wind and is picked out of the air by Makinson, and he gives it to Peru. That's a great try. The ball was held up in the wind. They're certainly playing into it.
Time off.
But the referee hasn't given it yet, Chris Kendall.
I've got to try.
Try on the field.
Just make sure Thompson stays out of the 10, please, if he is offside.
And he wants to check, Stuart, whether Luke Thompson is inside the 10 metres as he chases the kick downfield.
Yeah, and the first thing they'll need to look, is he actually in front of the kick when the ball goes up? Luke Thompson, I think he's to the second player right, so he's in front of the kicker. Now we have a Salford player who's waiting to catch the ball, so does he go within the 10? He's certainly close, but I think he's outside the 10. I think the distance there, even though we're looking at the two lines, it's got to be 10 metres from the position where the ball was caught. So I think he's okay there. He's checking again. He's got to be 10 metres away from the man waiting to catch the ball. That's a Salford player, and I think that's 10 metres, a clear 10 metres from where he was. So I think we can play on from this. And we know that everything else is okay. Just on to check the grounding, which was fine. So this will be confirmed.
Putting it down one-handed and making no mistake, Dominique Peru. 25th consecutive appearance, second row in every single game this year, his third season at Saints. And he really has established himself and has made his mark here, because this will be given.
This is an outstanding try. Good hang time on the kick. A legal challenge by Tommy Makinson, who has an option outside in Ryan Morgan. He has an option inside into that man who gets over and finally scores the try. Perfect try, played for and got by St Helens, and a good start. The opening 15 minutes has pretty much been about St Helens being ruthless when they've had the opportunity.
Well, 22 points for Danny Richardson, including a career-best 9 goals in last week's win against Huddersfield. And there's his first 2 points of tonight, and St Helens are 10 up after 14 and a half minutes. Dominique Peru with a try.
Well, Terry pointed out just a few minutes ago that when Salford had a chance to challenge for a kick, they allowed Percival to catch it easily. Here, the desperation, the commitment, the hunger by the black shirts to get underneath that and catch it first is the reason why now they have a 10-0 lead. Makinson does really well, doesn't he, to demand the ball and then find his teammate in great support.
So Jake Shorrocks restarts once again for Salford. And Lomax is underneath the kick-off, and then he's underneath the challenge of Burgess and also George Griffin. Didn't make too much progress forward. Matty Smith. Here is Amor once again. Amor, Cumbrian born, and reading a report this week where he has suggested that the Cumbrian Rugby League needs a little bit of a shake-up, and suggests that perhaps Workington and Whitehaven should join forces and give the game a boost up there. That's a debate for another day. Here is Regan Grace. Regan Grace has got support from Barber, who looked as though he'd fumbled it. He's going to go all the way. And Ben Barber goes over under the posts. And 2 tries in quick succession.
Time off.
Referee Chris Kendall hasn't given it yet.
I've got to try. Just check for a possible obstruction, please.
They're looking for another obstruction.
Nothing wrong with this.
I don't think there's a problem with this.
Yeah.
That means there probably is then, Stuart.
No, this is a blistering try.
No, I think my live view was it was a defensive decision. He's moved away. Nothing wrong there. It's Welland that's come in, and that's fine. That was his defensive decision to go in to make that tackle. He hasn't been blocked. Video referee Ben Thaler, just look at that again. We're looking to see the motions going through.
There is a collision. There is a touch there on Griffin.
No, I think he's clear and got away. I think the problem there that attracted the officials' attention was that second one, the collision with Welland. And I think it's his defensive decision. I think everything else is okay from there. Fumbles, but collects it cleanly. Just on to check the grounding, and the grounding is fine. This will be confirmed.
Just a second look from a different angle, just in case. Absolutely sure, so this try will be given. And St Helens, 2 tries in a minute really. Peyrou's first, and Barber with this one. 14-0 to St Helens. Almost a point a minute. Ominous signs for Salford.
Always supports the man carrying the ball, but what about the pace from Regan Grace? As soon as he puts them afterburners on, absolute ridiculous. Once he gets on the outside of somebody, there's not many players in Super League that'll catch the youngster. And since he made his debut last year on Good Friday, I think he's got better and better every game. And you give the ball to that man, Ben Barber, well, he's just so creative himself.
Well, that space isn't there without the work from John Wilkin. He was really important in the first try. I think he played a significant part in that third try as well.
So he's had an assist on 2 tries out of 3 tonight. And Danny Richardson's added the extras.
Well, I was asked on Sky Sports News this week, what makes Ben Barber so special? Why is he the strongest contender for the Man of Steel? And I said it's because of his positioning. If you think of a striker in football, the best players in football put themselves into the best position to take advantage of chances. And that's what he did when you look back at that play. He anticipated what Regan Grace could do. He managed to find the pass, and he was in the only place that gave him the opportunity to score from.
Barber underneath the kick-off. Amor with the first drive after the try. 16-0 the Saints lead. 17 minutes gone. Penalty here for St Helens. George Griffin.
The penalty for ball stealing.
Stay behind, stay behind.
We can see again, just because his arm's in there already, they're trying to turn Kyle Amor onto his back. And you can see the frustration from Griffin. Look, the extra effort, trying to spin him over, but the ball had already been stripped.
And you want that abandoned.
Go on.
Above ground. The ball still a genuine attempt for the strip on the ball, Eddie.
2.
That's interference in my eyes on the floor.
Hold. Go 2.
Here comes Amor again, trying to get the hand free. Thought about the pass, just couldn't get it away. Grounded 40 metres away from the line. It's Wilkin again. This is Lomax. Zebtea.
4. Move. Logan, stay square. Hold. Go 4.
Now it's Smith, who finds Wilkin once more.
5.
Industrious, John Wilkin.
Wait. Go 5.
Smith, down the left-hand side they go with Lomax. Lomax to Barber. Barber, a nice little dab towards the in-goal area and knock-on.
Normally safe at the back, isn't he, now levels? And I think that's his best position. The way that he reads the game from the back. Normally safe, but again there's pressure there from Mark Percival and Regan Grace. He just has a little look up.
It was a desperately spinning, bouncing ball, wasn't it? It was a nice, deft little kick. Just couldn't get it on the second or third attempt. Niall Evolds. 9th full-back appearance of the year. He played 3 times on the wing as well. Well, they've got it all to do again here in defence now, have Salford. They lost to St Helens 2 points to 34 at the Totally Wicked Stadium last month. They conceded 12 penalties. They had a player sin-binned. It was only 8-2 at half-time. Here is Ben Barber to Lomax. The Saints look for more.
Kennedy, the depth that they have in attack.
Oh, Junior Sauer's been injured there. He got a bit of a bang in above the hip, near the rib area. This now is Peyrou. And Dominic Peyrou has got to the line, but Salford had the numbers there to turn him on his back. And there's a real problem for Junior Sauer. This looks like a rib problem for him. Peyrou takes it back. Junior Sauer, though, is unable to take part in this
He's trying to keep his
duty.
place. He's trying to keep his place in the line. The physio's having to drag him down so he can take a look at that potential injury.
You okay, Junior?
Difficult to see where he picks it up.
It just didn't seem anything. Look, he's looked strong there. That's fine. I think it's when he goes down.
He's got a pointy elbow,
yeah.
Really pointy elbow.
Haven't you got a pointy elbow, Phil?
Not as pointy as that, I don't think.
Okay, guys,
it's
we're
as
going to have
painful.
to...
Look, maybe it's a pre-existing injury there from previous match.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is the right protocol to stop the game. Well, the game's already stopped here now for that.
I think it's close proximity to the play. I think that's the concern of the officials.
Well, he's going to carry on. He's going to gamely try and do his job, holding the rib, but away from the play at the moment as Amor takes it towards the sticks. Here's Matty Smith once more. Smith then fires the pass to Richardson. Richardson to Lomax again. Short ball. And a chance. My word, they're very close again. In the shape of Zeb Teya. And that ball was knocked out of the hands. Like Kopjak.
Is he in an onside position?
Says it's offside.
He's got both feet on the line. The ball's been played. How's that a penalty?
Well, he's ruled that one of the things they've tried to do by allowing players not to have 2 feet back on the line is to stop them coming round in that situation. And, that's one thing that's always been penalised.
Lovely ball from Luke Thompson. Finds John Wilkin.
Wait up, John. Go on.
Here's Smith again. Fires the pass a little untidily to Lomax. And Lomax surrendered to the challenge, so that's why probably the penalty wasn't given for a possible obstruction. Here is Amor again. Amor underneath the post, as you can see.
Go free.
Smith again to Wilkin. Fires the pass to Richardson. He finds Barber. Another nice little kick from Barber. Everyone's waiting for it. My word, it's a good job that Jake Shorrocks was there, because he grounded the ball in his own in-goal area, so it's a goal line dropout. So more pressure.
Junior Sal was really struggling not so long ago. Saints took the ball over to the left-hand side, went really close with Zeb Teya. Then they kicked the ball here, Ben Barber. And I'm a big fan of the way Saints play. They come into the game with a game plan and they read what's in front of them. They can adjust that game plan. But if a man is injured, like he was a couple of minutes ago, you go straight at him. You don't go away from him and let him recover. I think they've missed an opportunity then, Saints.
And Jake Shorrocks is preparing to take this goal line dropout. And I think Salford are making a change. They are. Lamatasi is coming on. Goal line dropout gets over halfway to Richardson, and back it comes in the arms of Luke Thompson.
Lamatasi will try and stiffen the defence up there. He's involved in that collision, that tackle. He's got good line speed and a good whack. He can give a penalty away though.
Here's Amor.
Move, Tyrone. Go to.
Smith waits. Now it's Wilkin again. Back it comes to Richardson. There's runners everywhere. One of them's Ryan Morgan. And Ryan Morgan gets over the line and he will claim the try. And the touch judge and referee have a look and the try is given. Ryan Morgan with the try. 20 points to nil. 22 minutes on the clock. And St Helens taking a stranglehold on this match in the opening quarter.
They look bigger, faster, stronger, more determined, St Helens, when they charge that ball forward. There is some deception. John Wilkin again at the heart of it. Danny Richardson, but that tackle should be made, halted, and that play should be stopped. There's a little bit of desperation in the Salford play at the minute. He gets that ball down, not at first attempt, momentum, he's still going, he's still moving, and that's a try, nothing wrong with that.
Well, the Salford fans saw that on the big screen. They see that he doesn't get the ball down here, but as you say about it, it's that second effort there. I think he's settled into this side. The second year that he's been at Saints, looks a strong signing.
Richardson is lining the conversion up. Ryan Morgan now 4 tries, and this is his 5th appearance in that run. 2 tries, his first 2-try display for Saints against Huddersfield last week. Good kick again for Richardson, but how about that? He has managed to curl it over the top of the bar. 22 points to nil. It'll take some coming back now for Salford, even at this early stage.
Well, all of a sudden, the Huddersfield result last week, and the Huddersfield fans won't be feeling as bad as they maybe did when they conceded 66 points. The referee gets a view of it there, he thinks the ball's grounded. And at the moment, they can score left, right, and down the middle. They are clearly too fast and too hot. Do you know, they've had about twice as much possession as Salford. They need the ball, the Reds, somehow. In some kind of way, they've got to get their hands on the ball without conceding a penalty here or another try. Very difficult. When this juggernaut now rolling forward, the Saints really seem to have been upset since they lost 2 weeks ago. And the determination level seems higher than maybe even for a Good Friday performance.
Salford with the devil's own job. Matty Smith. Once upon a time he was at Salford. Tomorrow we're going to see Castleford against Wakefield. Sky Sports action for that at 7:30 tomorrow night. I think local derby, and then Hull have travelled to the Catalan Dragons.
Okay.
And it's on Sky Sports Arena again. It's 4:55 on Saturday, not 7:30. 4:55 Saturday, Sky Sports Arena for Catalan Dragons and Hull FC.
Early kick there from St Helens. The kick's on the third tackle, challenging Salford to come away from their own line. Look at that carry there, only 4 metres. As the legs are pumping from Bibby.
Go third.
They're just struggling to make ground. It's the intensity and the line speed from St Helens. Ally that with when they've got the ball.
Solid enough run from Lamatazi. Gets them to halfway, but it's the last tackle again. Littlejohn's kick goes high in the air. It was hang time, but plenty of time for Makinson to come and make a decision, and then gives it to Barber.
Seems too easy for them. They're not finding the ground. They're not finding space when they're kicking the ball, and Ian Watson knows that they've been struggling, maybe struggling for meters. They sent on now Craig Kopchak, Tyrone McCarthy, 2 tough, unselfish players here that really need to give the teammates a boost.
Great feet, hasn't he, this guy, personally. You thought as soon as he caught the ball, he was going to head to the left. He can jump and skip off 2 feet, a bit like Martin Gleeson used to do when he played for St Helens all those years ago. He changed direction dramatically.
Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook has joined the fun.
Hold. Go for.
And McCarthy gets him down. There is Wilkin again, and Lomax, and Barber, and Percival, and off the outside of Percival's boot. But that's well watched this time by Niall Olds.
I mean, even look at Ben Barber in the last couple of plays that he had the ball. He pushed up with McCarthy Scarsbrook. He's on his shoulder, then he readjusts. He gets set for a shift on the left-hand side. Saints give a penalty away. You can see they're not working with the referee, Chris Kendall. They stood in front, but again, that's all about getting off the line, restricting the yardage. But he is a special player. He wants his hands on the ball as much as possible.
Well, this penalty will help Salford. Not seen too much of the ball. It's their first penalty of the night. And so they begin this set in much better circumstances than they have thus far. And Lamatazi will take it forward now to within 25, 26 metres of the St Helens line. Tompkins is there at dummy half. Will come this way. Gets it to Shorrocks. Shorrocks then finds Evols. Evols then to Junior Sow. It's a good tackle by Tommy Makinson. A penalty, really, and it's a penalty given. 2 penalties on the run then for Salford.
Well, you earn penalties by running hard, and one thing that Junior Sow can do is run hard, get over the defender, and you can see that Tommy Makinson caught the wrong side of the ruck, holds his leg up, clean penalty.
Okay, let's go.
This is the best position that Salford have had in the match thus far. And Ryan Lannon going to go inside at Luke Thompson. Ryan Morgan was there as well, so too was Peyroux. Tompkins to Kopchak, and he'll take it forward with Craig Kopchak. Nearly gets there, but Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, John Wilkins stopped him. Tompkins gets it away, and McCarthy gets in for Salford. Well, how many times in Super League did we say penalty, penalty, try? And that's been the state of things again today. And something at last for Ian Watson to talk about, and Salford maybe to build on. Tyrone McCarthy with the try.
Well, Junior Sow, he's been a good signing, hasn't he, ever since he's come over from the NRL to Salford, earns his side a penalty, and this nice committed line from Tyrone McCarthy. Comes on to that short ball. He was under some pressure, Logan Tompkins, to deliver that pass. He gets the right weight on that pass, even though John Wilkin tries everything to put him off. And it's a good line and a good try for Salford.
Nice footwork from McCarthy, and also a reminder for Salford, if they can have their fair share of possession and they can play the game a little bit more near their opponent's line, then they can get across and give themselves a chance.
McCarthy got a try last week against Wakefield. He's got his second here tonight. Also kicked a couple of goals last week to Tyrone McCarthy. Shorrocks, though, has got the responsibility here. And Salford are on the board, happily. It's 6 points to 22, though.
This might not surprise a lot of the Saints viewers, because if you think of the tries that they've conceded this year, and there haven't been many, there's been a number where the opposition haven't had to do that much. Simple plays through the middle. I know Leeds at St Helens earlier this year scored a few like that, and if there's one thing maybe that they can improve, because they have been the benchmark for this competition this season, is maybe the defence around that part of the field when it gets those plays.
Richardson restarts then. Ball finds Wellham from the kick-off.
An unusual substitution from St Helens there. It looks like they've took 3 key players off at the same time. Matty Smith being one of them, so a change at the dummy half, a change in the floor. And what happens? Morgan Knowles, number 15, one of the replacements.
Theo Farge also one of the replacements there. He is involved in that tackle. The push and shove on the floor against McCarthy. Logan Tompkins with the kick, but again a little bit hurried it was, and straight into the arms of Barber.
Well, the idea was right, kicking on the third play, trying to turn Saints around and trap them near their own line, but it was just the execution. And you could say as well, Eddie, that it's good positioning from the fullback, knowing exactly where Salford are trying to get that ball to.
Absolutely, but they'll be holding their breath, Salford, if the ball gets into the arms of Ben Barber any more often, because you never know what's going to happen. This is Matty Lees, meanwhile. He plays it to Theo Farge. Here comes McCarthy. Scarsbrook, robustest run from LNS over halfway. Half an hour gone. Saints in control. They're just given a little bit of a wake-up call. Morgan Knowles will take it forward now. Welsh international. Theo Farge. Lomax again. Lomax on his 170th Saints appearance, by the way. Good take by Niall Evolds.
Well, he was certainly under pressure then. He knew that he had to come up with that play, then couldn't afford to make a mistake and really put pressure on his teammates.
Johnson is a solid enough winger. He's playing, of course, right now in the middle of the park, trying to take a little bit of weight off the Salford teammates. Josh Wood, nowhere to go. Kopjak, similar. Just last tackle coming up.
The defence from St Helens, it's amazing. It's as if they're having an internal competition here. Who can get to make the most tackles, or who can have the most enthusiasm in defence?
Hold your breath again. It's with Barber, but he's given it to Makinson.
Eddie, and again, that's the reward. Like Phil's talking about the defence and who can whack the hardest. Well, by doing that, obviously it cuts your options down for when you're kicking the ball.
Regan Grace. Now Theo Farge to Mark Percival. Natural run from him, then slips the pass to Morgan. And Morgan's got some support with him in the shape of Dominic Peyrou, but takes the tackle instead.
They use the full width of the pitch. They're going from side to side, also gaining those metres and that vital territory as well.
That run from Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. He plays it to the French international Farge. He finds Knowles, who finds Richardson. Here is Barber again. This time Salford deal with the threat down that left-hand side, but they're very close once more to the Salford line. And Richardson to Theo Farge, and a little kick from Theo Farge, looking for Lomax. Oh, Lomax gets to it and might actually have scored a try here, because it came off the Salford man, but I don't think he grounded the ball properly, or did he?
Tackle 5.
Well, Chris Kendall was closer than the rest of us. They've got no try on the field.
Please, Ben.
If he's only checking the grounding from St Helens, it might be a problem for Salford, but it surely would have been grounded in goal, Stuart.
Well, it was looking that way, wasn't it? Well, he's onside from the kick, so we've no problem to play on from there. What happens on the grounding? Certainly saw a Salford hand get into the ball first. Does it? No.
He's missed it.
He's missed it. Oh, whose hand's that? I think that's Johnny Lomax's hand. I think he's knocked it on. His left hand there, just as the ball's coming down. And he just gets his hand to it, touches his hand there, and goes to ground before he manages to ground it properly. So that's a knock on. So well spotted by the on-field officials. They thought they saw a knock on there. That's it there. The no try will be confirmed.
This is an escape for Salford. They just got themselves on the scoreboard, given themselves some hope, and because of the little knock on by Lomax, this will be turned down.
Well, the players had started. They'd run out of patience. They've had 2 or 3 plays.
The ref's still behind the in-goal area. The players have already got on with it.
How long would the game have gone on? Could the players self-police? Would they just gone on without a referee?
It could be the future, a game without referees.
Back to the future. That's how it used to be.
Amatazi slowly walks the ball back to the mark once again and gives it to Wood, who restarts. McCarthy takes it forward on the first tackle. Here's Josh Wood again. Hit on George Griffin. Saints line, defensive line, a little fractured at the play of the ball. I must say, the Salford fans believing there could be penalties coming for offside. Amatazi again. Willing worker, isn't he? Wood to McCarthy. Little John. Griffin did his best. This is Wood. Dabs it over the top. Well, that's at least found the ground, and Barber has to come and get it and collects it behind his own line. Can he get out of trouble? No. Yes. No. No.
That's outstanding, Eddie. What work from Salford. Fast rucks, fast play the ball. And Josh Wood, who started the game on the bench, he comes on, he gets no call, he decides to just tip it over the line. He's up, having a look. Low, direct kick into space. They failed to do that more than once or twice in the game. And then a committed defensive effort from him and his teammates.
He can get that kick away because he just played off sheer power. 4 straight carries around the play of the ball. Josh Wood, he shifted wide once, and all of a sudden he gets out, spots a bit of space and puts pressure on Saints.
Important that when you kick the ball over the top like that, you actually find the ground. And that found the ground, it bounced and spun, and it meant that Barber had to backpedal.
And he didn't stand back and admire it. He kicked the ball, kick and lead. A lot of coaches will say kick and lead, and he led that chase, Josh Wood.
Here's Kopchak now leading this latest charge. He plays the ball to Wood. There's McCarthy. He finds Little John. John drops the ball off again to George Griffin. And Wood is in a dummy half again. The 22 metres away as McCarthy finds Kopchak on a run. Good run too. Good tackle by Louis McCarthy Scarisbrook.
They love that short pass. 1-on-1, 2 attackers, 1 defender. A nice short pass.
McCarthy gets the Kopchak gets the ball again away to Wood, and then it's picked out of the bird by Barber. And has Barber got the legs to beat this Salford side? Well, there are 4 chasing him, and I don't think they're going to catch him. Barber all the way to the line, and Ben Barber gets the try for St Helens. It's his second. Ben Barber, and a big smile on the face of Justin Holbrook. Well, he picked their pockets then. They were desperate to keep the ball alive. Salford up the other end of the field, and the fullback waited and waited, and then snaked the arms up into the air, and oh, hello. He's blowing for tugs now. He's gone the length of the field.
It's a cruel game, isn't it, Eddie? 1 minute you're down near the opposition's try line, you think you've got him, then all of a sudden Ben Barber just steps up. Incredible talent. He can read a game. So close to his own line. What's he thinking? He's thinking, if there's going to be a loose offload here, like there is, I'm going to be straight on top of it. Knows exactly where to place himself. Gets himself in between Tyrone McCarthy and Josh Wood. And look at this then, he just backs himself. Been chased down hard by the Salford players.
Well, you've just watched Ben Barber's 6th 2-try display of 2018. He hasn't managed a hat-trick yet. He's got a lot of time remaining in this game to try and get over the line another time. And the way he's playing with such spirit and enthusiasm, you never know. 26-6. Richardson to add the extras, he hopes. And Salford were just building a little bit of momentum after the score, and Saints immediately take the air out of their balloon.
Good teams can do that, Eddie. Soak up that pressure, then come up with a killer try.
Richardson then draws it over the top of the bar again, and St Helens lead by 28 points to 6, 4.5 to the half-time siren.
Well, it can be a cruel game, rugby league. They're trying to keep the ball alive. And what about this offload? Here he is. He has an instinct and knows where that ball is going to be all the time. It's an out-and-out foot race. 90 metres to go. And he loves every second of that. Beautiful stuff from St Helens.
Well, the best team in Super League last year, the Castleford Tigers, had the best fullback. And I think it was no coincidence here that the best team this year also have the best fullback in the competition, and arguably the best player. In fact, if you go back to the end of 2017, Zach Hardecker was nominated by the players as one of the 3 contenders for the Mars deal. They thought he was one of the best players in the league, and I'm sure that at this stage Ben Barber would be in the top 3 nominations for the best player. I think the other thing it points out, Eddie, though, is the importance as the fullback. At one day he was almost just the backstop, wasn't he? But now he's like your striker and your organiser of the defence at the back line. It's such a critical and important position now in the team, and maybe you can't win the grand final without having the best guy at the back.
Morgan Knowles, meanwhile, to Richardson, and here's Peyroux again. They have some stars in their side, Saints, but they certainly have a very, very busy engine room as well, don't they? Lomax with a high kick. Neville's watching it all the way. He could hear Makinson coming. Makinson just missed him. Lees doesn't. The ball comes out. And have they scored another try here with Zebtaya? Well, they'll check, I think, on the collision on the floor, first of all, because Evolds is flat out.
Just check the contact, please.
It's all about the contact.
Yeah,
Got no try on the field, Stuart. That could be crucial.
Yeah, no try, and they're looking to see whether there's any foul play in this tackle. First of all, we're checking it onside. I think everybody that chases that ball is onside. And the ball's taken cleanly. That's just how this ball comes out. We think he just loses the ball, but is it lost because of foul play? I think, yes, is the answer to that.
Yeah, Matty Lee's got him with a right hand in the face. Nothing wrong there with Makinson. This is the one.
And even though the player's down on the ground, the tackling player still has the responsibility not to make contact with the head. And you can see the contact made there, which causes him to lose the ball. So this will be a penalty, and a no try confirmed.
And meanwhile, as we watch this, there's some concern for the player on the floor.
I think that's going to be a yellow card, hasn't it?
No try. We'll just wait. We'll just wait on the man
Sent
being
off
in
for direct contact there. I know he's not done it intentionally.
He's got the option. He's got the option to do that.
It's an attack to the head rather than a high challenge, isn't it? Because he's on his knees. That's the thing. I just wonder the fact that there's blood there, whether that will sway in one way or the other. The red card is out. Matty Lees is off the field. Matty Lees is sent off.
And the players all huddle around him. I think he's unlucky in the outcome of that tackle. His intent was get in there, make it hard, try and dislodge the ball. Unfortunately for St Helens, and more importantly Niall Evolds, he catches him on the head.
If you look at that angle, it's a sending off, isn't it? You can't.
And it's not really defence that he's not looking at where Niall Evolds as he swings his arm and he does make contacts. And I'm a big fan of Matty Lees. Like Morgan Knowles, Luke Thompson, they've got some really good young forwards, like you said, Eddie, in the engine room. Like we all talk about Ben Barber, Justin Holbrook knows what he's got. He's got some classy players, he's got some good young players, but Matty Lees then makes the mistake, and now Salford make a mistake.
Only his 5th appearance for St Helens. Young Matty Lees is shown the red card.
Unfortunately, under today's rules, that's a red card, and there's no argument with that. He's a player with tremendous talent, ability, and a great future in the game, but it looks like it's inspired St Helens now. They've a long way to go with just 12 men. They've got a...
He's a passionate player.
They're on the right side of the scoreboard, St Helens, and in players like LMS, they won't use it as an excuse.
Fight down, guys, let's go.
The more you saw the challenge, the less options the referee had.
It went from yellow to red on your paper, didn't it?
It did.
Okay, fight down.
Well, it went from try to yellow to red.
Out.
And then we got a
that's
green
not the
card
best,
for
is
the
it?
injury as well, by the way.
Oh, well, look at that. Danny Richardson gets out the scrum. He's looking around and no one's pushing up. No one wants the ball. That's very unsaints-like.
Here's McCarthy Scarsbrook again.
Move, Logan.
Put on his bat.
Go to.
Plays the ball to Fage. There's Knowles. Now it's Peyroux.
Third. Move, Ryan.
Peyroux to within 10.
Wait, go third.
Here's Theo Fage again. Gives it to Richardson, Lomax, wide to Percival, further wide to Regan Grace, and a dive to the corner for Regan Grace. Did he get it down, or has he touched the whitewash
Tackle free.
as he places the ball down? They've got a try on the field.
Touch and grounding, please.
Touch and grounding.
Not a problem, Eddie. He knows how to finish a try. He knows where the sideline is. And Regan Grace, I don't think he touches the touchline as well to catch that ball, doesn't he? Reposition.
They've just got to keep away from any contact with the line. Stay in field. I don't think there's a problem there. Certainly, he's in the field of play. What happens if his left hand stays in the field of play, ball's grounded, that's fine.
Fantastic try. Fantastic try from Regan Grace.
You know, just to catch the ball above his head, then concentrate and focus on staying square and getting to that touch.
You're right,
to that try line.
Percival doesn't make it easy for the young winger. That's an outstanding finish.
And I think this is going to be confirmed by Ben Thaler. The arm hit the corner post, that doesn't matter. The try is given to Regan Grace. Try last week on his 36th consecutive appearance. A try this week on his 37th.
Well, wingers need the confidence from scoring tries, and you say Grace hadn't got over for a while. But that was an excellent try from last week, and a great finish because the catch above his head was a great piece of skill. We've gone to the video referee for the 5th time in the opening 40 minutes, but it's a decision that's gone in favour of the visitors, and it's emphasised and underlined the class that they have here tonight.
Regan Grace extends the lead. Saints have scored 32 in this first half. Down to 12 men, remember, because young Matty Lees is off. And Niall Evalds is off in the medical room having a check on his injured face. This, therefore, will be the last kick of the first half for Danny Richardson. He couldn't be further wide on the left-hand side. Only centimetres away from the touchline. But he's a right-footed kicker, so it's the right side of the field for him. Slips and just doesn't quite make it. 32 points to 6 at half-time for St Helens. Here at Salford, the Red Devils will be desperate to try and get back into this match as quickly as possible. They have 13 players, Saints have 12, because we've seen Matty Lees sent off in that first half. Can Salford make the extra man pay? Well, by the looks of things, they've had a bit of a shake-up from their coach Ian Watson. That was a great tackle on Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. This is Morgan Knowles, the only other St Helens player to be sent off this season. He was sent off after a match in Perpignan against the Catalan Dragons. So they've had 2 red cards this year. Have the league leaders, but they're well in control of this match. 32 points to 6. And in possession here, once again, with Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. But it's another high shot, and it's another penalty for St Helens.
Well, Lomatasi giving a penalty away. You can see
High tackle.
high shot on Louis McCarthy-Scars, but they can't afford to do that. And I'm sure the coach, Ian watching, and say, look, we've got to go out there and get them. Let's not wait and sit back and let Saints play the game. We're down to 12 men, but there won't be any panic at all from Saints.
Well, is it Ryan Lannon, the player with a problem at the moment? The physio stood on the far side of the field now. Looks like his left forearm is the problem for him.
To the side.
Have a very thin squad at Salford.
Okay, Theo.
And enough injuries to cope with as it is. They don't want any more. And here is Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook again. And involved with Tyrone McCarthy in the challenge, so it looks like he's A-OK to carry on. Theo Farge here finds Danny Richardson. This is Zeb Teya. One of the other interesting talking points of the evening, of course, is will Ben Barber get his first Super League hat-trick tonight? He's already on 2 tries. That's a good short ball from Theo Farge.
I'm going to say yes, Eddie.
LMS is stopped underneath the sticks. Farge again. Fires the ball to Richardson, who wants to come back on the inside. That man is Dominique Peyrou. 4 tackles gone. Pressure here on the Salford line. McCarthy-Scarsbrook, back it goes to Farge. Here is Johnny Lomax. Lomax then finds Mark Percival. Percival comes back on the inside. skips away from a couple of challenges, can't get away from Lamatazi. So Fage will have a little run. Fage the ball then to Zebtea, and he is held up just short of the line. And that's where St Helens will turn the ball over.
Well, he did well then, didn't he, Jake Bibby, the number 24 for Salford, to clamp that ball along with Chris Wellham. The problem for Salford is, look where they're bringing the ball away from. They found it hard to get meters going forward, carrying the ball when they were so close to the line. Yeah, there's lads turning up, but they need something else. See, good sides will push the ball. They like to try and get on the outside. Quite conservative for Salford.
And is it an understatement to say that Salford are missing Robert Louis?
I'm just not sure where those breaks and points are going to come from with Salford. We said before the game, they're a side that can toil, show endeavour and stay in a fight if they're anywhere near equal peggings, but they're just so outclassed this evening. And I'm going to answer that question. I think Ben Barber could get 3, could even get 4 or 5. He's just in red hot form. He's hungry and he's looking for the ball.
Let's see what was said in the dressing rooms at half-time, shall we? Angela Powers.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, Justin Holbrook was very happy with the way that first half went. Well, all the way up to 37 minutes, that is. He thought it was very harsh, the sending off. A poor decision, he described it as. But having said that, he said it was a good 40 minutes. More of the same, more in that vein he wants from them. Ian Watson said, well, he thinks his team were like sheep in the headlights at times. They've really got to lift the intensity now and start to meet St Helens head on. He said before the game that this game would show them how far they've come. They can improve. They might not be that far off. And the news on now level, not too much lasting damage, but he won't be playing in the second half.
Thank you, Angelo. Well, there you go. And here we've had a knock-on by St Helens meanwhile. This looked like a forward pass anyway from Mark Percival to Ben Barber, and then a little error there from Danny Richardson.
It was, Eddie. I totally agree with you. They got away with the first one. They couldn't get away with the second one to that man, Danny Richardson.
The first one was almost offside. I think Barber was in front, the ball was passed forward. He was stood in front of him, could have been a penalty.
As it is, it's a scrum feed to Salford, 40 metres away from their own line. They have an awful away record at St Helens, by the way. They won a Lancashire Cup semi-final in 1975 by 21 points to 8. Their only away win since then, 18-17 in the old First Division in 1980. They've lost their last 35 visits to St Helens, including the 2011 encounter at Widnes when the Saints had moved out of the town and were awaiting the completion of their new ground. So Salford away don't have a particularly good record, but here tonight they came into this match looking for a third successive home win against Saints in the weekly rounds. It's a long way away from them at the moment, but Tyrone McCarthy, the scorer of their only try in the first half, takes it forward gamely to within 18 metres of the line, and Logan Tompkins gets the ball away again. Here is Kopjak. They'll keep on trying, Salford, there's no doubt about that. They'll try and make the extra man pay.
And there's more than just effort, Eddie. They're a decent side that have got some great rugby tries in them. I think we'll see one at least in this second half. Held up short there at that point. It's a turnover. But last week they scored an excellent try. As good as you'll see by any side where they pass the ball wide, and Ian Watson, Martin Gleeson, the coaches, certainly when they get their attacking lines right and the timings there, can score tries that really do impress. But I think more than missing Robert Louis, Eddie, there's just a bit of bad luck here. They're playing Saints at possibly the worst time. After the defeat against Wakefield, this is this St Helens Club has pressed reset on the season, and they're back more determined than ever. They've been outstanding last week against Huddersfield, and very impressive here for 45 minutes tonight.
Yes, they have been, and this is Zebtea. 41 game playing sequence ended last week. Regan Grace hasn't missed a match since Good Friday last year against Wigan when he burst onto the Super League scene. They've reached the last tackle though here, Saints, and Salford have restricted them to just inside their own half. It's a high kick. Look at the speed of Mekinson. Oh, he's put pressure on and he flings the pass in field, and Salford, fortunately for them, they get it back with Logan Tompkins. Mekinson flew out of the blocks then.
In the first half, he did something similar to help set up one of the other St Helens tries. He's been, I don't know when they're going to pick the England squad to play in Denver, but surely his name must be mentioned in that breath because he's been brilliant on the right wing in the first half of 2018.
And goes McCarthy, who hasn't shirked any responsibility since he's been on. Don't forget, we have the NRL back on Sky Sports this year. Gold Coast against Cronulla on Saturday morning at 25 minutes past 8, Sky Sports Arena. And then at 10:30, North Queensland against Canberra, same channel.
That's good for them when they get quick rucks, quick play of the balls, and they're on the front foot.
And they get a penalty.
No, mate. It's controlled.
Little John tried to take it quickly. Peru got a hand to him. Little John went down like he'd been shot by an elephant gun.
All off the back of a strong carry from Craig Kopchak. That's all you need. You're just waiting for that one big play, that one big win around the ruck, and then Little John spots it.
Off we go.
Right, so a penalty to Salford. Remember, I think I'm right in saying it was penalty try for the only score of the match from Tyrone McCarthy.
Yeah.
So this is on the back of another, and there is McCarthy. Now it's with George Griffin, and here's another penalty, and because there's somebody flat out in back play, must have been caught late.
I think it's Tyrone McCarthy who's a late shot on him. He tries to engage the defensive line. He goes straight, plays straight. You can see that he offloads the ball. Is it Morgan Knowles
I've blown straight away.
that hits him? He's a physical player, Morgan Knowles, but you can see that is a penalty.
Well, it's certainly a late tackle. I think the video referee's just seen if there's any contact with the head.
Ben!
If there didn't appear to be.
Please.
Referee wants a word with Morgan Knowles for all of that.
Yeah, okay. It's a penalty. You need to be very careful on the timing, okay? It's a penalty against you.
I think timing all wrong, so penalty, the second one in quick succession for Salford. Now will history repeat itself from the first half? Tompkins just pops it up to Kopchak.
One. Move! Zebtaya back!
Hard work required from the 12-man defence of the Saints here, as Tompkins finds Little John and gets it away to Griffin. Good tackle by Lomax.
Go to.
And here is Tompkins again, spreading it wide, and tidily it finds its way to Ryan Lannon.
Third.
He's lost a little momentum. They're now 10 metres away. Junior Sow is there. Gives it to Kopchak again. And Kopchak, the 20-time Welsh international, charges forward, but then Salford come up with a knock-on. And look at the face on Louis McCarthy's Scarsbrook.
And that's the danger when you're trying to speed that ruck up, you're trying to play that ball as quick as you can. You sacrifice a little bit of technique. It's a scruffy offload. Scruffy play the ball, should I say. I can't see too much wrong with it.
He's penalised to touch it with his foot, I think.
I can't see too much wrong with it. But you're always forcing the referee to make a decision.
But look at Louis McCarthy. Look at him.
What's he penalised for? He's actually touched the ball with his foot. It's a scruffy play the ball.
Exactly.
So all the ones that break the rules, which are you have to touch it with your foot, they're okay, they're not scruffy.
It must be the way that the ball rolls and bobbles behind. That's what he's...
It's a distorted rollback, which
hasn't looked right,
appears like...
It hasn't looked right, and he's misread it. The referee
Perception
misread it.
is reality. Sometimes.
So referees are not allowed to make mistakes anymore. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything, Eddie. I'm saying the best weapon that Salford have got is to try and play this ball as quick as they can. They leave themselves vulnerable for situations like that. Nothing to do with the referee.
Saints back in possession. Percival will get to his feet, plays it here to Farge. Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook. He gives 100%, doesn't he, week in, week out.
I think he's been outstanding in this game.
Had a couple of tries last week off the bench against Huddersfield. He's obviously wanting a couple more. This is Peru now.
Do you know, if St Helens had an award at the end of the season for most improved player, I think Dominic Peru would be a strong contender. His performances this year, whether it be, oh no, he's dropped it again. He's had a knock-on.
Yes, I was going to say he's lucky to get away with that, but he hasn't got away with it. Jake Shorrocks. Well, is he a full-back? Probably not.
Well, judging by that effort there, no. And you could say that the ball just dipped, but you can see totally out position. Doesn't get that right, and like Barry said before, the youngster's got to go. Starts in the halves, go back to full-back. You've got to reposition yourself. Difficult.
Well, hugely difficult, and he's been desperate for a chance to play in the halves since he moved here on loan from Wigan to prove what he's worth. He was okay in the first half. Evol's off the field. They've had to rejig, as Barry rightly said, and you did just now, Terry.
Back down, guys.
And it's a big ask. It's a big ask for Jake Shorrocks.
Wait on me, Danny.
And it could be costly as well there. They've got very good attacking shape over on the left-hand side,
Big
Eddie.
scrum play. All the players on one side for the Saints. Two pods of three, and Lomax is nearly through.
He nearly is, but Little John saw to it he wasn't going any further.
Go on.
Farge Gives the ball then to Zebtea.
Surrender to stand.
Down he goes. Surrender, says the referee. Salford have a couple more seconds to get off him. Richardson to Lomax, going down the right now with Barber to Morgan. Here's Makinson. He releases the pass as he falls. Morgan again. Payru once more.
Third.
Down Payru goes on tackle number 3. And Theo Farge is pointing the way. He's pointing at the posts. We all know where they are. Saints 2. Here's McCarthy Scarsbrook.
4. Move. Hold.
And Farge again. Right under the sticks. Lomax, back it comes to Barber. Wide to Regan Grace. Another forward roll in the corner for Regan Grace. His second try of the match. The 12 men off St Helens. It doesn't matter. There's 12 or 13 out there. They still know the way to the try line. His 5th try of the season. His 2nd of the night, Regan Grace. And there they go. St Helens are going to march on at the top of the table. A 4-point gap tonight before all the rest play over the weekend.
Well, poor old Jake Shorrock, well, he makes the mistake and gives that field position to the Saints. When you're playing against Saints, they always look like they've got more numbers. They're down one man, but look at that. You come in, you try and jam that play. Jake Baby gets that absolutely wrong. If you jam in as a winger, trying to close the play down, you've got to come up with the man. There's 2 men outside, and it's just too much time and clinical performance from Saints.
It's the man with the golden touch, Ben Barber. I've been watching him over the last couple of sets. He has the habits of every good fullback. Whenever they're in good attacking position, he hides himself behind the play of the ball, follows the ball out to where the threat is, where they're trying to test and challenge, then comes back, hides himself again, and he's always in the right place at the right time because of the metres he's running. He's all over this pitch.
Tell you what, Saints scoring some fabulous tries, but they're not giving it an easy night for Danny Richardson with the boot. They're scoring on the left, they're scoring on the right.
He's got a lovely bend on his conversions. Swinging it in.
Can he slip the ball over the top of the crossbar again this time? 36-6. Yes, he can. It's another sweet strike from Richardson. Super League's top goal kicker. And Justin Holbrook at ground level. Well, it's going to be the 22nd win from his 31st match for Justin.
Well, we've praised lots of St Helens players tonight, but one name that's probably not had many mentions, but to me is perhaps essential to what they've done with a lot of their attack, is Johnny Lomax, the guy who wears number 1, but has been displaced as a fullback and now plays as the standoff. I think so much of their real attack, particularly on the left-hand side this season, has gone through him. He receives the ball again, then you don't hear a lot of his name mentioned.
He's away. LNS is on the way. He's trying to bamboozle Shorrock. Shorrock misses him, but fortunately for Jake, the other Jake comes up. That's Bibby. Here is Theo Farge. This is Lomax again. He gives it to Zebtea. Here is Mark Percival. They scored 2 in the minute in the first half. They've got as many in the second. In the same length of time. They have a try on the field. He wants to just check the grounding because it did bobble a little bit as Mark Percival touched it down.
Well, as usual with a break, referees and touches, he's just slightly back out of position. They just want to make sure this ball goes down correctly. Well, it's interesting to see how he keeps his hand on that, but it certainly looks like his hand is on it all the way down.
There's no problem with this, Stuart.
His hand on the side of the ball. That's the thing. Does it come away?
No.
Yes.
No. He just keeps his fingers on it. Just keeps his fingers on it.
That's a breathtaking try from
I thought
St
if the ball
Helens.
came out, you had to re-grab it.
If it comes out, but it didn't look like it came out then. I think this will be confirmed.
Fingertip control edit.
Well, it's given. And it's uncanny, really, when you think they scored 2 in a minute in the 14th and 15th minute of this match. They've scored 2 in a minute in the 54th and 55th minute of the match. And Mark Percival gets the benefit of the doubt.
Well, Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook has run like this all season. He busts the line, head down, thinks to himself, shall I offload, shall I kick, shall I find a pass? No, I'm going to play it quick. And from this point here, Johnny Lomax, Phil mentioned him, puts the big second row through the gap. And Mark Percival does really well to finish that try. Breathtaking from Saints.
Yeah, sweeping movement, one end of the field to the other. And Richard, well, he kicked from this place 60 seconds ago. This time he's pulled it the wrong side of the posts. 42 points to 6 though. And what about the run initially from that fellow? Here he goes.
Well, I think he's been the standout here. I know we can talk about the likes of Ben Barber, Johnny Lomax, Danny Richardson, and all them sorts of players. I think he has been absolutely outstanding. The platform that he has laid for Saints to play here. The nice ball from Lomax and Zebtaya, and then Mark Percival, the England international, just finishing it off. Not a problem with that, Eddie. Absolutely not a problem with that try.
Well, more importantly, Ben Thaler hasn't either, and he's the most important man in the ground. Doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter what I say, what Phil or Barry says, Ben Thaler gave it the green light, and that'll do for me.
Move way off the ball. Hold, go to.
Here's Morgan Knowles.
Third.
In this sort of form, you start to wonder who could challenge St Helens.
Well, we're going to be there.
Am I right to say that in the next few weeks, the chances, do they go? They play Catalan Dragons, I believe, next week. I'm not sure that's a game we'll actually see. We're at St Helens out to see them to take on the Dragons, and then the week after, if I'm right, is it Castleford Tigers in the cup? Where they were embarrassed, was it last year or the year before? Absolutely embarrassed in the cup there. But this looks like a completely different St Helens team.
But it is, they say one man doesn't make a team, but Ben Barber has apparently transformed this St Helens side. Yeah, here is the road ahead. Catalan at home, as you say, then the cup tie against Castleford. Widnes in the Magic Weekend, Castleford away, Hull KR at home and Leeds away. So big month for all the teams now, as we start to get almost down to the business end. Early June would be into round 15. Well, the middle of June, 15th, would be into round 18. Only be 5 to go before the big split. Season's nearly over. Now it's Salford's turn. And Little John taking Theo Farge and Ben Barber with him a few paces and then being rolled over the sideline by Barber. Well, he's not just a try scorer, he's not just a creator, he ain't a bad defender either.
Well, I just think that Saints are not just an attacking side. Saints of old might have been like that, but now they are a defensive side as well. They get back Theo Farge, he's looking for help of some of his teammates, and you can see the extra effort there to hold Little John up. He knows he's going towards the sideline, and two of the smallest men in a Saints jersey, in Theo Farge and Ben Barber, have the strength to force him over that line. That's great defence.
Well, this is fast becoming the Ben Barber show. There's a man that loves his job, whether he's running with the ball, whether he's communicating at the back with his goal line defence for his teammates, or whether he's making tackles like that.
Thing is, we're going to be talking about man of the match shortly, and the votes that will be coming in
it's
on the
done for me.
Well, he's got enough silverware. He doesn't need another one. He should give somebody else a chance. And there'll be some charities rubbing their hands hoping that it won't be him tonight.
So I'm going to go with LMS, mate. I know that Ben Barber's done very well as this man. When they carry the ball, the platform's been led. Salford looked very dominant the way that they were carrying the ball early on, but in the likes of LMS have really stood
He's
up.
played well as well. Phil picked him out before. Payroom. Come on, a bundle.
Tommy Makinson as well.
You can only have 4. Richardson, good ball to Lomax. Little John gets to him with help from Wellham. Percival, he's not been bad. You listen, you could give the man of the match to any of them.
I know.
Oh, nice kick through. Barber is your guess for the hat-trick. First time he's got a hat-trick in the Betfred Super League this year. That might seal it. He might be going home with yet another silver tray and a £250 cheque as man of the match. We'll have to see if he's on the list. But Ben Barber gets his first ever hat-trick in Saints colours and in the Super League. He scored 4 hat-tricks for the Canterbury Bulldogs in the NRL. In fact, 5 hat-tricks he's picked up during his career.
Well, good players have a knack of being in the right place at the right time. And he can certainly read that. And one thing that you've got to say about Ben Barber is when he plays this game, he plays with a smile on his face. Danny Richardson knows exactly what he's got outside him, looks over his right shoulder, knows that that man is there. He's going to chase really hard, knowing that if he can get the kick away and get the right weight on it, that man's going to be there. And certainly he was to score his hat-trick.
Well, he scored 4 tries for Canterbury against the Roosters in 2010, Parramatta in 2011, Canberra same year, and the Cowboys 2012. And then he got 1 for Brisbane against Newcastle in 2014. And his first hat-trick in the UK, improved by Richardson. And St Helens have coasted this, even though they've been down to 12 men for the last 25 minutes or so.
Well, Terry's just pointed out that he's put himself in the right positions. He has that speed, doesn't he? And he's really enjoying, you've seen here tonight. But I think benefiting from the way his team have defended. He was involved in that tackle that took Jack Littlejohn over the sideline. So it's not just wanted to play when his team have possession. He's been interested when they haven't. And it's amazing when you think about how good St Helens have been for the last 2 weeks. Because there are some people who say that the St Helens best player is James Roby. He hasn't played for the last fortnight. In fact, he's obviously got an injury and they need him back. But the strength of the squad that St Helens have, with Smith, there is Roby on the sidelines here tonight. With Smith and Farge alternating for him in that hooking position, it just goes to show easily that they are a stronger squad, not just a good team of 13.
And here comes Ryan Morgan down the other side, and he's breaking through the challenges as well. Oh, Junior Sow has got to be penalised for the flop. That's frustration.
Yeah, I knew straight away I didn't need Junior Sow. And I agree, it is frustration.
He needs to be careful here. They're already down to 12 men. I mean, that doesn't look pretty either.
Well, things are going against them, aren't they? Not only...
Yeah, mate. Yes, yes.
That's not just a flop, I'm afraid.
That's in slow motion, though.
It looked worse at normal speed.
Yeah, I think the referee will probably just put this on report.
Doesn't hurt as much in slow motion, Emma.
That's in slow motion. You're watching players getting beaten all over the pitch, and the proud man, Junior Sow, that's full speed.
Junior.
Oh, hello. Yellow
10
card.
minutes.
Well, now they're down to 11.
It's the other team, isn't it? Eddie?
Oh, yes, it is.
12 apiece, Eddie.
12 apiece, sorry.
And you called Barry McDermott's maths last week.
Oh, listen, I wouldn't trust my maths. Just let me get this calculator out for you. 12 aside.
Well,
that levels it up then, doesn't it?
Yeah,
So
it
God
does.
helps Salford now.
Well, that's the frustration of the former Kiwi international. So not only is it gone against them on the scoreboard, they just can't get into this game. Scored 1 try.
So, from the penalty, St Helens will come forward again with Luke Thompson. It's amazing when you think that last week Salford was so good in the win against Wakefield, and tonight, well, they just haven't hit their straps.
And
They're playing a very good side.
And it was Wakefield that took points away from Saints.
Yes, just a couple of weeks ago. Peyru, how good is he on his feet? He's taking them all the way to the line. Oof, I think he's just short. I think, by the looks of things, Chris Kendall agrees, but he's so close. Here's Farge, Richardson, Lomax. Knock on both ways.
First one's by St Helens.
But the first was by the Saints, so Salford breathed a sigh of relief.
When you look at the amount of times that Saints make mistakes, they made more errors than any other team in Super League, but the reason why they make those errors is because they throw the ball around. They are not a conservative side.
Tompkins fires the pass infield to Flanagan. That's Littlejohn. This is Jake Shorrocks again, trying all he knows, but you can't get away from Dominic Peyru. Here's Mark Flanagan again. I suppose Saints at 48-6, they will say, look, they've got over once, we don't want them to get over again. We've got the best defence in the competition, we've got the best attack, let's prove it here in the last quarter of an hour or so. Tompkins, he's left 2 Saints players on the back. Regan Grace comes up with the possession, but of course he is forced over the dead ball line by Chris Wellham. It's a goal line dropout for Salford.
Better from Salford. Those quick play the balls that can be so fruitful for them. A decent kick off the back of it, good chase, good field position, and let's see what they've got.
Chris Wellham, he's heading towards 150 career tries, but he still needs 3 to pass that mark. He made 31 tackles in the 38-4 win against Wakefield last week. Goal line dropout from Richardson. just over halfway. Shorrock's underneath it. Here's Lee Mossop to run it back. Matty Smith's back on the field. Lee Mossop has gone without the ball, and it's called a knock-on and not a ball steal. Matty Smith has done a job. Good hit.
Well, Lee Mossop gets through Matty Smith, and you can see that after that contact, he just loses that ball. You can see, yeah, there's an arm actually in the back.
It was Matty Smith's.
Yeah. Well, he gets rid of him front on, and as he's falling off the tackle, he makes a pull for that ball. On the wrong side for a referee, Chris Kendall to spot.
George, back.
So Saints scrum, after all that pressure from the goal line dropout.
Wait.
That was on the first tackle, I think, wasn't it? Or
This scrum's not good enough, Salford.
yeah, the first
Get his
tackle.
head round and get his head in these scrums. Wait for the out call. Head in. Wait. Ball in. Out.
So Richardson feeds and gets the ball back. Here is Lomax.
Movement. Oh, go on.
Matty Smith. Amor.
2. Move.
Could have been a high shot on Kyle Amor, that from Mossop.
Richardson again. Barber. Morgan. Barber stayed with the attack. Morgan's got past them. Dominic Peru fires the pass forward to Richardson, and Danny Richardson is denied.
Well, Ben Barber was tracking that ball. He chose to go on the outside of Ryan Morgan. So the ball goes inside to Dominic Peru, and the forward pass will come. Bit of hesitation. There we go. You see, he's in the right place, just drifts to the other side, Ben Barber, and you have to admire that about this Saints side under Justin Holbrook. When he joined this club, it was under strict instructions. We like attacking rugby league. The town wants to see this team play. Well, he's delivered on that. He's an Australian that's come over here. He understands the mentality of the town and the fans and supporters, and he's given them what they want.
Okay, the man of the match vote, I can tell you, is now open. There's about 10 minutes remaining for you to make your vote. And your candidates are, inevitably, Tommy Makinson, Luke Thompson, Regan Grace, and a fella called Barber, who we haven't seen much of tonight, but he's only scored a hat-trick.
Really surprised LMS isn't in there. Really surprised LMS isn't in there.
Well,
Yeah.
Luke Thompson apart, they're all back, so you'll be disappointed.
Dominic Peru as well, he's another player that's worth a mention, isn't he?
Well, you've only got 4 options. Here is a chance, though, now for Bibby. Jake Bibby down the line. He's got Barber in front, went past Barber. A good job that Lomax was there. He's probably another candidate who should be on the list. Lomax. This is Little John. Comes wide here to Josh Wood. And offside underneath their own posts are St Helens.
Good attack from Salford, though. That's what they're capable of. We've not seen much of it tonight. But they are a skillful side. And it's clearly shown that they're not broken here. They're beaten, but they're not broken.
The Our League app is the place for you to vote, by the way, for the Betfred Super League Man of the Match. This is Little John. There is Shorrocks here as well. Slip pass. They've run out of room on the right-hand side. Bibby goes over the line on this right-hand side of the field.
Just defensive attitude. Look at them all numbering up. Not jamming in, trying to close the play down, trying to be a hero, just backing off. As soon as Bibby gets that ball, Regan Grace just hits him, takes him out of the field of play.
They're full of energy, St Helens, now. With a scoreboard like that, it looks like they could almost play another game again after they've finished with Salford.
I can tell you the man of the match vote is a close run thing.
Max there, guys.
We've got Luke Thompson with 5%, we've got Regan Grace with 7%, we've got Tommy Makinson with 10%, we've got Ben Barber with 76%.
He missed the tackle before,
I know, I think
Get him
it's
off.
just going to go down a couple of pegs here.
Get him off.
You can have your say on the R League app. If you're a fan of Makinson, Thompson or Grace, get the apps going now. If that's what you do with apps. Do you get your apps going?
Move, stay square.
Get your thumbs going.
Don't ask me.
Get your thumbs going.
Morgan, okay now.
He's just a different gravy, isn't he? He's just on another level from everybody else this evening.
It's interesting now, with 12 aside, the game hasn't looked dramatically different. There doesn't appear to be much more space for the players. The ball shifted wide here, but you wouldn't, if you just tuned in and watched here, you wouldn't immediately know this. Both teams are playing with a player less than we normally see in a match.
Oh, and your Junior Sow is about to return as Barber goes for number 4. Got an ankle tap. The ball has gone forward from his pass out wide for Grace.
Oh, he's injured. Somebody's badly injured here. It's Ben Barber, left shoulder edit.
Oh, yes.
That looks like a dislocation or a collarbone.
Oh, he's in a right mess.
It's a late hit. Time off.
Oh, and no wonder he's looking a little bit concerned.
Well, Justin Holbrook and Matty Daniels, the conditioner.
He's badly hurt here.
Yeah.
He is badly hurt.
They know straight away if a player reacts like this.
Look at the offload. It's an attempted offload, and then he overstretches the arm there. It might. I've got to hope here for St Helens that it's not as serious as it could be.
Everyone concerned with the club, anxious that the star man is A-OK. Meanwhile, as he makes his way off the field on the stretcher, Saints have a penalty in back play for a challenge off the ball in the build-up to the move at the end of which Barber picked up his injury. So irony of ironies. This is Wilkin who gets it away to Knowles. Tackled by Josh Wood.
Hold. Go, that's 1.
Matty Smith to Wilkin. Wilkin then to Richardson. He finds Lomax. Lomax bounces away from a couple, gives it then to Percival.
2. Move, George! Back with me! Hold!
And Smith quickly in to dummy half again. 11 metres away from the line. Saints looking to top the 50 if they can. Kyle Amor
It's okay.
uses his strength to get away. Finds Smith. He finds Wilkin. They switch the direction of the attack. This is Theo Farge. They've got the 50. Theo Farge, the Frenchman. Salford, no answer, I'm afraid, to all of this. It'll be a disappointed Ian Watson, the Salford coach, because tonight his team just haven't shown up. He was full of optimism when I spoke to him yesterday. Thought he would give the Saints a real run for their money. It's their 10th try of the night for St Helens. They've hit 52 points and a kick to come.
Well, Saints get the penalty. There's a player taken out by a Salford player, and all of a sudden, even after that big break, you think that Salford's defensive line can get set. The strength from Kyle Amor to get rid of a couple of Salford defenders, and the man who started his British Super League career over here, Theo Farge, came over as a youngster to Salford, and now all of a sudden he's a French international captain, and he's turned up here playing in the Saints jersey and scores a try. I'd be really happy with his efforts here.
Please, Saints keeping the ball alive, a speculator back inside, and Saints couple of pair of hands, couple of short passes, and that's the man. If the injury does keep Ben Barber out for a week or two, that's the man that might get some more game time.
Well, he made 66 appearances for Salford from 2012 to 2015. Theo Farge, he scored the 10th try of the match for Saints. Richardson's added the extras, and this has been a 10 out of 10 performance from St Helens. And they march on at the top of the table. Throw the gauntlet down to Wigan, Leeds, Castleford, Warrington and the rest. Who's going to stop them between now and the end of the season? They're bang on course for a top of the table finish, once again for a record extending 8th time, and it would be the first time, if they do it in 2018, that they would achieve that, if it happens, since they last won the grand final itself in 2014.
What they have got as well, Eddie, you look at the players that they've got injured, they've got competition for places, haven't they? Alex Worms are not playing, so you like to Luke Thompson, Kyle Amor, they have to step up.
They're not finished yet either, by the way. Here they come again with Ryan Morgan. 4 minutes to go. Even when the ball goes to ground, there's a black jersey there. And this is Zeb Taylor.
Their ability and the desire to throw the ball around, you've got to admire them. Even when you think the play and the tackle has been made, players like Kyle Amor are managing to find an offload.
Richardson finds Lomax down the right. They come again with Morgan. Here is Makinson, flicks the ball inside with the boot. Oh, it's picked up by Morgan, and that's try number 11, and that's 58 points on the board. Second try for Ryan Morgan. And they are scoring at will and have scored at will. built up an unassailable lead in the first half. Even with 12 men throughout this second 40 minutes, they have been too good for Salford on the night. Far too good.
Slick hands here, over on the right side. And we talked about the involvement of Johnny Lomax a couple of times. His timing when he's taking the ball to the line. Watch him as he gets it here off Danny Richardson, takes it to the line, gives a one-on-one to the centre, and that's a beautiful kick and catch from the pair over on the right for Saints.
Well, he's in great form, Ryan Morgan. 3 tries in the last 4 before coming into this. So that's 5 tries in the last 5 now for him. But the win has come with a little bit of a dampener on it because of Ben Barber's injury. We've seen him go off the field on a stretcher, and doubtless in the post-match interviews we'll find out a little bit more. But they'll be keeping their fingers crossed it isn't as serious as they had first thought. But for Salford, a shattering defeat after their big win against Wakefield and a real triumph last weekend. Richardson has added the extras, 60 points to 6. Clickety-click, the Saints.
Eddie, you could pick out a number of key players for Saints over the years, but I think that what they are a team. When Ryan Morgan gets that ball, he thinks the best option is to give it Tommy Makinson, because there was a 2-on-1 when Junior Sal was focused on Johnny Lomax. Then in turn, Tommy Makinson kicks the ball back into field, knowing that Ryan Morgan's effort is going to push up the pressure in the fullback. I think they just keep turning up time after time for each other. It's a big plus for the coach, Justin Holbrook.
Move, George! Hold. Go on.
Well, Matty Smith looking around here. Who's he going to bring the ball? And who's he going to give the ball to? And Zepte is the man. Gets the ball.
They still want another, don't they, Tez?
Yeah, they do. It's all about speed.
Knowles, the Saints. Down he goes. Here's Richardson. Well, they've got a minute and 10 to try and score another, and Zeb Taylor's through forward pass.
No, he's done that all night, Johnny Lomax. Oh, sorry.
Theophage.
Johnny Lomax has done it so well all night. Theophage on that occasion.
That's fine.
I think that's perfect timing.
Well, just looking at the referee, it's nothing. He's not giving it for the forward pass. He said that there was an obstruction.
He's giving it for a forward pass.
No,
the sign was that.
Well, he's not. He didn't.
He's awarded a penalty.
Yeah, he didn't. When he was doing the play, and he was just watching what he was doing, because that wasn't a forward pass.
I think his first whistle was for a forward pass. Maybe someone had a word in his ear.
I think he changed his mind.
Hold. Go to.
Well, Salford won't be complaining, let me tell you. They've had not much going for them tonight. Aye. That's a Chris Wellham try.
Time off. Tackle
Not given as yet.
I'm with you. This is a try.
Just the grounding to check. They're getting to double figures.
We'll have a look at the kick through. Make sure he's onside. You can see there, Wellham's onside as he chases the ball into the in-goal area. He gets there first, but does he ground it correctly? Got to take possession. Difficult to see. On that showing, what does this one tell us? Well, you can't see any touch before he gets there. The first one suggested that there might be, but certainly on that, he's grounded the ball fine on that occasion. Can't see a touch before that. I don't think there's enough there to overturn the referee's decision. I think this will be confirmed.
And 79 minutes, 46 seconds on the watch. This will be the last decision, the last try. And the try is given to Chris Wellham. It's a consolation and nothing else.
Well, it won't make them feel much better, but at least...
Won't make them feel any better, Barry.
At least they're the team to score the last points. Good kick, good chase. Sadly, not enough for Salford.
What you'd say, they've just not given up, have they? Yeah, they come off second best, but they finish with the final try through Chris Wellham.
No, fair play to them. They didn't wave the white flag, although the white flag had been waved many minutes before. And just a few seconds ago, they missed with the conversion attempt. So 10 points to 60. It has ended up. A big win for St Helens. Irresistible again tonight.